At the initial stage, there was nowhere anybody would ever think about what Karimo was saying now. Àfi tó bá jẹ́ pé you are not raised with an honest background. Nobody ever thought about what she's saying now. She came for me at a point. I was shown. I was like, what have I said is wrong? I said my own thing. I said my own truth. I'll say my truth. I will just, it's the truth that has to be told. So it's a society we find ourselves. And that is why I'm going to appeal to the police. I'm going to appeal to the state government. This Mohbad's case is very sensitive. Very, very sensitive. A lot of people are demanding for the justice because you will ask that no justice should be served on Mohbad's case because you think your children are immune to being killed irrationally. Beat your chest that Mohbad does not deserve justice, and let me see how your children will survive and become a better person in this country. Any sane person will understand the nitty-gritty that improper investigation must be done. So, Karimo has not committed any crime if she's coming out to talk now. The fact remains that the investigation is still ongoing. And then she spoke to her conscience. I cannot continue. You don't be surprised if any other person, total me, within the circle, will still come out and speak the truth. Because if there is anything anybody have been threatened, is it that people are threatening or they don't just want to speak the truth? And the police should understand that they need to do the right thing. Don't ruin this country. If the police have done the right thing by bringing in every reasonable person that logically should be brought in a case of homicide from inception, maybe all these things that we are hearing, police would have investigated and the investigation would have traversed towards that side. How would the police feel if truly there is a phone that is being taken away, and if they should contact Karimo, she will tell them who is holding the phone, how the phone was taken, where the phone is. But how can the police say it's irrelevant? Which police system will get to hear that kind of information and will say it's irrelevant? The only reason police will pretend they cannot act now is if a reasonable person, the family, or non-governmental organization that is standing by the family to get justice did not do the right thing by compiling those overwhelming evidences and information and share with the police. Police might say, you are only saying it. We didn't see any of these things you're saying. You didn't send it to us. There is no way you will submit those evidences that actions will not be taken. Because if you wait till the next coroner inquest, they've shifted the one for the 24th to 11th of September. To 11th of September. And what they will do at the coroner inquest, they will be asking questions. That is why, while they are investigating, they said, Abulo Mohbad want to talk at a point. And they said he cannot talk. Somebody went to run after him. Under police investigation, all that may not be able to happen. All that may not be able to happen. So, the police should be allowed to return fully to the investigation. They should come back to it. This is a new dimension and angle to that investigation. If they fail to act, we should all conclude, all the justice for Mohbad, that there is likelihood that we will never get justice. That is the truth, Tebego. That will be the truth. That there is likely. So, what is going on at the coroner inquest should not in any way affect the police acting now. Because the police are the primary investigator of this homicide case. They are the primary investigator. But the Nigerian factor is we cannot do any arrest now. You know there is corona inquest. Don't sell that to us. Don't sell that to us. So if somebody in Wumi's circle, not just a staff, not a neighbor, the blood sister, could give an insight. And before Karimo actually spoke out, millions of Nigerians know that as we speak, it is looking likely that Mohbad's death came from within that house. Nobody even knew anything about phone. Police don't know whether there is another phone hidden. Police don't know whether, I don't know whether there is a railing in Mohbad's house or not. So if that information filters out, a reasonable investigator will go to the house and check if there were actually railings or not. So what we should do as a matter of urgency, if you can help them, the legal team, Justice for Mohbad, you need to do that, because if you don't take that step, all of us will look stupid at the end of the day. There is nothing much the corona will do. Is when you get to a stage like that, when it's cut, what they will tell you is bring evidence. The police that are supposed to investigate and drag out evidence, if you don't make them work, they will not do anything. They will not do anything. I am telling you the honest truth. If anybody would want to hear the truth today, if you rely on the corona inquest, at live video, the conclusion will be, we need you to prove this beyond reasonable doubt. But the only institution that is allowed under the law to investigate the allegation Karimo brought up are the police. And there is no way they will investigate without arresting Wumi. Arresting Wumi is not that she is guilty. But that is the only way they can move close to knowing whether that allegation is true. If it was a false information, she might still pay. Karimo might still pay. But how can they make this kind of allegation? If you take this allegation, I will say my own truth. You can rely and sit and wait for corona inquest. Corona inquest that was not initiated by Lagos State government. They wrote to Lagos State government, Ministry of Justice. Somebody wrote to them. So if truly you don't want to deceive yourself in silence, diplomacy pẹ̀lú irọ́ mi ò ní talent yẹ. Ìtì bá fẹ́ dá sí ra, ẹbí ò mọ̀ ṣe. I don't know how to do it. I have lived well enough. Ayé tí mo pé mo wà nù ayé, mo ti bí ìwọ̀n bá tí ẹ fẹ́ lò tó kù tí ẹ máa lò. You do it and ensure that you contribute the right thing to the progress of your country. Gbogbo ẹ̀kọ́ lè máa fi máa bú olóṣèlú. There is no way killing people irrationally within the house can stop. If all of us are not united to say that when it comes to cases like this, let the truth be told. Let the truth come out. Because if you think because it's social media, because of the nonsense empathy and nonsense emotion, and you support this, what happens if tomorrow they kill you? Are you the one to... It is the duty of the people behind to ensure that they fight for the person, so that another person will not be killed irrationally, including your son, including your brother. So whether we like it or not, those vital information, the police must be able to come back, because if the justice for Mohbad will not come together, and if you don't do it by sending this petition, this additional information, say, police, we add so and so. Of course, you will rely on intelligent report. You have to rely on information. If you know something, say something. Somebody is claiming to know something now, and this is the person coming out with a bold face. She has a name. It is not even a matter of We are trying to protect the source. We don't want to. This witness or this person making this categorical confession is even very close to the person. Now that this information are there, all you need to do is go to that house and then re-invite all those people involved in this case. Because all of them should know that if the investigation with this new information turns out to be true, they might likely go down. Promise one Calvary that evidence, they might not be able to help them. There is no sense in aiding and abetting murder, knowing fully well that the consequence karma only for any but I make sure to baby in just about shorire. One team at the all of them you thought you were fear that fear don't buy that don't pay ni ati damu. When I preserve your life and I will ensure that every child you have, till daytime of a cross here, and I'll be taking them, then you feel the pain. While feel the pain and Baba and Tony Mohbad, then I want to have them here, they should come and serve, come and help you now. We're not saying, we don't know who killed him. Every call him I didn't ask her to stop. None of the justice for Mohbad asked Karimo to speak. None of the justice for Mohbad, not even the father of Mohbad, asked Karimo to speak or say what she's saying. So if you are that low and you cannot consider the fact that whether it is true or not, if it is physical, if you are that intelligent, won't you go back and check the railings and say, Oshua pe ijaro for obo railings yen. Show one better. Yes, the railings were there a day before. Are you sure? If it gets to the place and find out that there was evidence that the railings were even there a day before, because social media, otherwise, you do a lot of videos you don't know. There is no way those that killed Mohbad will not leave one or two traces. They cannot cover all the tracks. They can never. Go and I can beat my chest. Except the police do not want to work. No matter how many people were covering the lies, except the police do not, there is no way you commit a natural murder that you will cover all your tracks. There is no way. So don't be deceived. It's quite shameful that after the police had already made us look like they've done their best, they've done everything. Meanwhile, part of their best should have included taking into custody Wunmi and every other person with it. So the missing link was that they were soft on Wunmi. And it's shameful that at the end of the day, every Wunmi, a family close to Wunmi is the one coming out to tell us that now a phone has been taken which consists of major evidences. The railings of the house are evidences of physical and domestic violence. What are we talking about? I think you know Corona. If it is true that Corona inquest was initiated from the camp of Wunmi, what are we talking about? We must stand and ensure that those in charge of those heading the Corona inquest, the judge, all of them, they follow the law. We will look into details. Every action, step they are taking. It is your right to stand and ensure that the right things are done in this kind of case as a citizen of this country. It's not something you'll be scared of. So we should engage the police. The police are there to do this. The police will never tell you that the police are not interested in anybody killing another person. They are not interested. They don't want anybody to be killed. So For you to think police will want to cover, the only thing you can blame police for is negligence, or there was an oversight, or there is compromise within the police rank. One or two persons, they are trying to like, or they just go sentimental. And we can't really blame the police fully too, because at the initial stage of the Mohbad's announcement of Mohbad's death, all eyes were on the wrong set of people. Whether wrong or right, all eyes were on another set of people. So it is natural, the normal Oju Anu, to not think of doing the right thing by saying, Madam, you are with your husband 24 hours before he died, and with the look of things, this man died. If he died 2 hours before you tell the police, as the wife, and you are in the same house with him, you should be able to know quickly what killed him. There is no way. If somebody came into the house and killed him, or he died then you should be able to know. Do you understand? So it's something that if somebody dies and reports were made quickly, police will look at who were there, who probably have entered into the house, and all of things like that. Do you understand? So it's sacrosanct. It's quite important. So we're going to be appealing to the entire Justice for Mohbad team. Compress and burn all the videos of Karimo. That is the way to go. If you really want the police to act fully, we can only call for the arrest of Wunmi. If police want to act, they can say, okay, from that, what we saw on social media, that's the vital information. They might have contacted Karimo, and if Karimo should supply them additional information that looks like there is likelihood that it is true, or there is need for them to now go deep, they would hold whatever evidence she has given to them, and then they will swing. But we are all human beings. This is somebody in their camp. This is the blood sister. And if she could come out and talk, is it that the spirit of Mohbad is pushing and asking for justice? And this is a sign that because of Inyoko, it could lead to something catastrophic. If the justice system, if the government and those in power do not do the needful, you would think and the body and the spirit is insisting, is giving signs. When things like that are happening, it's probably God is passing a message that do the right thing. Do the right thing gradually. And those in authority will like, what do we do? If you need to do it. Because if they don't, that somebody like Karimo could come out and talk. It's not a child's play. Karimo has not committed any crime by coming to speak the truth or speak her own truth. She has not done anything wrong. That I'm your family does not mean I can bottle up anything you have done wrong for a long time. I'm not able to support murder. So we need to understand that it is something that has to do with the soul of this country. Murder is not kid's glove. School. You want your children to go to work, and then they go in peace and come back in peace. You don't want a situation where anybody can just wish I can kill my child or kill your child, and then everybody, Mama Tewo, it's over a month now. It's over here. Just allow it. Justice, when well served, even if it won't recover who had been killed, it will forestall a repeat. When we do our movies, we take our time to mirror the society and ensure that our stories educate and caution people from committing crime. And that has in turn helped the society, the government, even the police, so that crimes will not be on a large scale. So when I speak like this, I'm not speaking because I'm Mi ò rí Mohbad rí, kò fún mi lówó rí, mi ò rí Wunmi rí, mi ò rí Karimo rí. And as a matter of fact, all of them might have even been my enemy, or they might not even be my fan. That is not the point here. I am a human rights consultant and ambassador. And I'm speaking because I am promoting the frontiers of human rights. Mohbad has got right to life. If it is certain he was killed, then it is imperative for the government that we all voted for. And we voted for few people to be in charge of our commonwealth. It is not because they are better human beings. It is not because they are superhuman. It is not because they cannot be challenged. It is not because we don't have right to ask them to use our resources at that position to do the right thing in society. It is not. It is because it is our duty to support the government and the police in cases like this, so that even when they kill a government official, when they kill a police officer, justice is served. So naturally, in this case of murder, in this case of homicide, in this case of that is obvious to all of us that this is likely a case of murder. Whether it is a case of genuine or a false information, the police are duty bound to investigate. And there is no way they will investigate, there will not be a pre-arrest. So it is very important. And don't come around and think, because it's not about gender. Everybody should ask ourselves, how did it turn around to be that everybody wants to she likely to be responsible? Everybody has got right to also clean and absorb themselves. Don't forget that in the course of fighting for this Mohbad, you have cancelled somebody's career. And if in your conscience and honesty, including those in the camp of who they are now accusing now, and what if you wo any cancel career, any tenitoba mumba and kokpa. Now think about it. How will that person be feeling? That what if I was around? What if my children and wife did not? What if I did not run? What if they have killed me, thinking I was the one that killed Mohbad? So if you look at the whole scenario going around the case, if new information are coming out, why should any reasonable person think it is out of place for us to ask that the police should act? Where was the evidence that you all saw when you demanded that Samilari Naramali should be arrested for the death of Mohbad? Were they not investigated? Were they not arrested? Why should any other person should be bigger in this case? These terrible people asking that now that an allegation was brought up, where was the evidence that all of us had that showed that Samilari killed Mohbad before he was arrested and investigated? Where was the evidence that we all had before Naramali was asked to return from abroad? And it's OTS, where were the evidences? But police are duty bound to investigate. And in the course of investigation, they will bring you in for questioning. And then, the little things where people were able to throw out, and they feel information police. And when they realize, okay, stay there. We are treating case of murder now. From allegations we've received. You cannot tell the police not to invite you. If it is a case of murder. Things are meant to be done the right way. So certainly we should ask our conscience, do we really want to get better as people? Can we continue like this and expect that all our courses on politicians will be effective. Only work. Unlike Europe, you all love to sit and be raised with lies. And if look at this person, I don't want to use negative words. He said there were videos of bullying. We're talking about murder. They don't even, you have to know the difference. Do you know why the police are yet to even charge Samilari and the rest based on bullying? Because they are still investigating case of murder. Social media. But we just have to live together because social media is just like the normal everybody must have the opportunity to express themselves. So the question is this. If the police gets this complaint, that is what I expect them to do. That is why they should arrest her now. If they fail to take action, everybody that is asking for justice for Mohbad will be looking stupid. And it will mean that the police are deliberately inciting, like making us like and when people are aggrieved and the law says do not put laws into your hands, inform the authority and they will see the best they can make out of it. If the authority, the police, the government and the court are duly informed and they choose not to do anything, it is a call for anarchy. Anarchy looms. And if you love your society, you must be able to write and speak up and say whether it is true or not. If it is a credible information, what stops you in investigating? Maybe you are still investigating, and you are investigating with public funds. And that is what we're talking about. So the fact remains that you in your conscience, you were typing and all of your activities, all your talking, everything led to the arrest and investigation of Samilari, Prime Boy, Naramali. Those people who probably in the last 1 week or 2 weeks were not even close to where Mohbad was. And the things that likely caused the death of Mohbad must have happened if, from all indication, it looked like what killed Mohbad is something that was done to him within 48 hours or 24 hours before he died. But we were able to look at the few information we had, with or without evidence, and we went to say, ẹni tó wà ní máìlì mẹ́jọ, ó possible kò jẹ́ òun ló máa ṣe nǹkan, tó yẹ pé ó ti rí gbẹ̀yìn wọ́n ọ̀sẹ̀ méjì. It's still part of investigation. Police did not discard it. They went for them and asked them, let us investigate you. And they came back. I want you to share Mohbad now. So now the question is, why would you, when an allegation has come up again, why would anybody in his right and to be more here to forgive your motobi? I want it now. The police as an institution, of a credible institution, will say no, it's irrelevant. We are not going to do that. Knowing fully well that any two father were accused, the woman that is being accused was not properly even investigated as a suspect from beginning. Because if they have done the job and do the right thing from beginning, maybe they would have seen all of these things like Karima is just saying now. So the question is, why did the police do the right thing? Because from the report the commissioner of police then read out, nothing shows that Wunmi was properly investigated. And if they have investigated, interrogated her, maybe they just did it casually. Now that information are coming up, they should go back. And that is not too much to say. That is not too much to say. Tani Wunmi is ever arrested. Tani any kini palapala. Tani mi ò ráyè ansajan lucky o. Mi ò ráyè ansajan lucky. gbogbo wa bí rí mi ṣe rí mi máa pọ̀ fọ́nú fíìmù yo nǹkan tí n bá mọ̀ ṣe tí bá ti fèsì ẹ̀ lè lé mi díẹ̀. I will tell you clearly that justice for Mohbad is a legitimate call. It is a right of the society. When cases like this come up, the right of a victim, the right of the defendant, and the rights of the public must be upheld and protected by the prosecutors. It is a law. That you want to know what killed Mohbad is your right. Nobody on earth can ask you to keep quiet or stay away. It is your right. If you stand there, you cannot go to jail because of that. It's your right. Your right, you have right to even attend court proceedings if you have a chance. Because that is the only way the society can get better. So stop entertaining unnecessary ignorance and fear. If you are 18 years plus 1 day, you have a duty to defend not only the integrity of this society in Nigeria, but the prosperity and growth and peace of this country. But if you don't know who you are, if you don't know why you are being raised, if you don't know who your parents are, if you are not raised properly, you will just want to live, play around, and just get out of the country or do whatever, and don't care about Nigeria. Thinking those elected are the only ones that should be having sleepless nights on anything that concerns Nigeria. Then you will be thinking, why is it so difficult? We keep having problems from one leader to the other. We will condemn this particular government, and then we will all put our mouth and say, bring in another one. They will bring in another one. And we will start saying, that one that we condemn is even better than this one. Let's check ourselves, the citizens. We are not looking at the fundamental problem of the Nigerian society. We always look at the peripheral, the things that can cheaply be said about the problem of Nigeria. With the problems, we are always hiding, and we're not even talking about our own contribution to the problem of this country. How will the police know the truth if those people that were there to come out and speak the truth are hiding? Torture one. I want to say no to torture. And then people that know the truth are either scared to speak up, or are not bold enough to speak up, or don't even know that not speaking up will be detrimental not only to their today, but to their future. How will I want to support anybody who committed a murder? I don't care your reason for now. How will I cover you when I know that covering you up will leave or put me in eternal damnation? How will I cover somebody who killed another person, knowing that at the end of the day you might even turn out? I will be the next victim that you will kill because you know I have the truth. I will be the first person you want to kill. And then you stage probably an accident or stage armed robbery and say that is how I died. And the police should put up a standard investigative structure. Witness protection is crucial. I can tell you for free, if you know what killed Mohbad and you have serious evidence, I will put my number down, or you send me a DM. Find a way to send me a DM. We will make sure if it is possible for you to go and seek asylum and get out of this country. If you think the police will not help you, if you know there is a point police have joined them in threatening you, speak to us. We will find a way to get you out of this country. At least if that is one good thing you will do in your life, you will know certainly, and you have never aided and abetted anybody who killed, because the burden and the consequence will stand with you forever. I don't care who you are, how close you are to Mohbad, how distant you are to Mohbad. If you know what killed him and you choose to cover it up, tell your cover down of Fubobo, tell your cover down of Fubobo. One jela yo, one is the Jambi. Kodana one be. Chubati Luba down of when your co. Oh, till a be 1 million to pussy there. Ìlú ló ń béèrè fún justice for Mohbad. people in police want justice from Mohbad. Some people in the government want justice from Mohbad. Some people in the court want justice from Mohbad. So whoever is within this circle and is trying to thwart or do the opposite, when God is giving us this very important lifeline, oh my difficult go. So don't be deceived. The truth of the matter is normal procedure, normal policing. One of the major persons that were supposed to be fully investigated, looking at the nature of death of Mohbad. Immediately police saw the nature of his death and the moves around bringing nurse, bringing Edo, she nurse Ben Cassin. One snap or what to who one snap where see the one outside Nigeria. What the hell of it be a road here to do all the man perform a miracle. Oh, Tim of Ben Cotty Shelley. Do not even ambush here, not even t-shirt of bueno. So, Okoashi put it one shape, was a professional nurse. Nursing, to you don't want to be a lady. And you sing on us about till they so, any time we are one lady, but now to one later your one lady. Police are now investigating. They are not owning those people as the crimes of Lati Bere. And what to avoid a girl handicap. I want you to keep on back, catch him up back. Everybody will. Wala bo. Wala, Gidi. I want to silence you. Want to tell what justice for bad. One leg. I want pull out. All of you go back to my post. If you are honest, take your time. Go back to my post from beginning of justice for Mohbad. If I can mention name. When Emma Daruko, Emma Dakesi, Emma Daruko, and get color passion. Tori Moshe Kokobe, Timati Bereke, normal advice at total. One day, Sabi Yimomilowo, because it's in social media. I want me to help me on Rokuro. Moko anything shitty. The shit the minute but most film. More than your human rights. My human rights advocacy is not just for victim only. It's not for things that will please you only. My human rights advocacy, because as an ambassador and a consultant for human, you must speak the truth. You don't want the truth. You cannot get justice when you are abusing the right of one party and covering the right of and allowing the right of the other person. You cannot establish the truth. With the little information you have, with the little videos that we have, and we could accuse and attack, and some people even went ahead and they followed and they accused Sabilado. Some information on your carry today. Now investigation until back and forth. Pẹ̀lú nǹkan tó irú ikú tó pa Mohbad nínú ilé yẹn. Wọ́n rí pé ó jìnnà sí nǹkan tí àròpá wọn yẹn ṣe. Fine, they might have offended or hurt the guy at a point before. But kò tiẹ̀ ní ṣe pẹ̀lú tó ṣẹ̀ṣẹlẹ̀ sí because ojúlówó tó yọnu tó pa ẹni yìí. Wọ́n mọ̀ pé tó pa yẹn must be as a result of maybe physical attack within 48 hours. Ìdí táwọn èèyàn ṣe rò pé àbí wọ́n náà wọlé kọ́ lọ lú Mohbad pamọ́ nulẹ̀ ni wọ́n ṣe ránṣọ mọ́ àwọn tí wọ́n ti ń threaten ẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀. So the fact remains that we cannot be safe as a society when we cannot speak the truth to the young people. Young people will continue to be perpetually exploited if you cannot accept and embrace the truth. If you goof, come out and own it. That is the only way you can bring proper cleansing. That is the only way you can get proper cleansing. That is when you are raised to speak the truth. I am not doing this because of anybody. I'm not doing this because I am doing this because of my country. I will never be happy if anybody is being sent to prison for a crime he did not commit. The consequence is coming on myself and my children. There are some prophets in the Bible They were punished solely because they refused to speak up. That is why most people are being punished. That is why most of the concerns and most of the torture, the turmoil you are going through in this country, altogether, is not because you are part of those that perpetrated the crime, but because you chose to be silent and you chose to be a coward. Murder is a serious crime. It attracts capital punishment. Because it can be recovered. That can be. Honorable members, they fight themselves in the house. Honorable members, I don't show if you don't go bully, they fight themselves in the house. Footballers, they fight themselves. But in the case of your intention over determine. Some murder might be manslaughter. Me intention at pa. O la gimo mi lórí la gimo lórí padà. O de yo ṣubú o de kú. Ẹ jẹ́ ká rí proof ṣé nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ yẹn. Ọlọ́pàá rí pé mo evidence jẹ́ ká rí pé nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ yẹn. Ṣé wọ́n ṣe tapari good. They will change your charges to manslaughter. It doesn't necessarily they will accuse you of murder. If that was the case, they accuse you, see, kí rí pé èèyàn fẹ́ lagi mọ́yàn àbó lagi mọ́yàn. Ẹni yẹn wá try láti defend rẹ̀. Because ti onítọ̀ padà wá kú. You kill the person, but you cannot be sentenced or charged for murder. Èmi máa tá tó síbẹ̀. Ntọ́ pé human rights nìyẹn. Intention onítọ̀ kò ṣe pé kó lè kópa. Ó ń defend rẹ̀ ni. So you cannot charge this person for murder. If the system or the government says, ẹ wo, ọ̀nà ló pa òyìnbó tó sọ ni murder ni, ẹ charge for murder. I will put my life on the line and say, not on your life. Why are they back? Kò ṣe pé òun ló kò ṣe murder lásán. Manslaughter kẹ́ni yẹn lè mọ̀ nǹkan tó ń jẹ́. A kò fẹ́ sọ pé má ṣe rú ẹ̀ mọ́. Charge him for manslaughter, period. If you come out and defend that, they will say you are supporting a murderer. Human rights is not about trying to look for things that will please. You speak the truth. So, they get money here because if the youths know the truth and they are informed, then we will start having a better country because most of the things still our young indulge and our tongue get involved in is causing a serious setback for the government. The reason why most of the politicians will be like, with the frugal resources available, if we should start doing these things, majority are young. Before they will even accept these basic social amenities, we will have to start begging them, explain to them. And that is why we have to start investing. Don't think that everything is government. To be knowledgeable, to be informed, is not the job of the government. It's the duty of you and I. Do you travel abroad? Do you work in a place where you have access to information? If you die with the information and knowledge you have, you are now a wasteful child. So we should speak the truth to ourselves. We have to speak the truth to ourselves. So whether you like it or not, we must be able to narrow it down. If they make that petition, so if any of the justices from Mohbad are listening, my NGO was going to do that. But I want to pass the information to the justice from Mohbad team first. Because already only one. I use social media that way. So if the justice for Mohbad team, if they are having the right legal support, and they are properly and ready to do the right thing, for the police not to feign ignorance or not knowing that there is any information out there, if you think it is a cause for concern, put up those documentary evidences, burn them down into CD, and then send it with a petition, whether under the auspices of justice for Mohbad. If anybody is not willing to front or to be the head of this stuff, oh man, there must be somebody they can address, there must be somebody they can communicate with. You want to interest. If you are an interested party, you need to come out and say, we are the one asking. We are not violent. We add social information. And we realize that this information is looking like you probably skipped it. Or it was covered. You were obstructed. There is likelihood of obstruction of police investigation, which is a criminal offense. We want you to go back and do this. And when I say, there is no way they want to cover up a natural crime. One man feel mistake and then when you police go back, if you will be honest, because Karimo certainly will give tangible information to the Justice for Mohbad team and will copy the same to the police. So if the police do go ahead to do that and they mess it up, one of the terrible things is to find the police blatantly trying to cover up such a crime like this, or the person that is culpable. One of the things that is very sensitive and dangerous is to allow yourself or your government or anybody, any agent of government to do the opposite. Only who. So when they are telling us there is a phone containing, also Mohbad also spoke about a particular phone. What happened to the iCloud? Was there CCTV in the house? And then the police should, as a matter of fact, re-interview. Because I will tell you categorically, if you go by the coroner inquest, the only way we can achieve anything tangible with the coroner inquest is that all of us must stand our feet. We must be there. We must put our eyes, put our hearts to it.